Good morning. I would like to welcome each of you to the City of Dublin's annual State of the City. My name is Danita Romero. I am chair of the board for the Dublin Chamber of Commerce and am a fiscal agent for Chabot-Las Positas Community College District. Thank you for joining us today and your patience with this virtual platform. We greatly appreciate each of you taking the time to join us today for this historic event. A special welcome to the Dublin Chamber of Commerce members, not yet members, and guests of the City of Dublin. Each of you are missed, and the Dublin Chamber of Commerce is looking forward to getting together for the next in-person event. Through the magic of technology and with the help of Amos Production Studios, we will meet virtually until then. A huge thank you is needed for our Dublin Chamber of Commerce President, Inga Houston. She continues to work hard to make the Chamber the best it has ever been. Inga, you are appreciated every day. A thank you goes out to the ambassador team for their outreach efforts with the Dublin Chamber members. A special thank you to new Dublin Chamber member Amos Production Studios, who is our new technology partner. We are thrilled to host Mayor David Haubert and hear the city's progress on issues that are important to our business community. I would like to acknowledge the Dublin Chamber's hardworking board of directors, 11 members strong. Thank you for your stewardship during these interesting times. Thank you to Gina Molinaro Cardera with Amador Valley Industries, Les Jacob with Select Imaging, Julia Dozier with Chabot-Las Positas Community College District, Nadja Corey with Fremont Bank, Leonard Nieto with Envision Construction, Gotham Tandem with Ellipsis Marketing, Brent Herrera with Mutual of Omaha, Ryan DeGroff with Stanford Valley Care, Stephen Kahn with Hoag Fenton, and Christina Sivas with Dublin Toyota. Also, a special thank you to Hazel Weatherford, our partner with the City of Dublin. And a big thank you to today's event sponsors. David Levitt with his team at Altamont Corridor Express, or ACE. Inder and Jesse Dozange with Dublin Chevrolet, GMC. Ed Cornelius with Dublin Toyota. Splendoria and his team at Hoag Fenton. And Dr. Sabre Arak with Quarry Lane Schools. Thank you for your support. We appreciate your generosity in underwriting the majority of this event. Next, we need to recognize our Leaders Circle, sustaining membership. With their support, we're able to offer enhanced services. An example of these services is the ability to communicate news and advocate for business-friendly legislation with events like today. Our Leader Circle members are featured as our major sponsors for today's event, and we get to hear from them directly. I would like to introduce Ron Gerhardt, Chancellor for Chabot-Las Positas Community College District.
Good morning, and on behalf of our Board of Trustees for the Chabot-Las Positas Community College District, I'm pleased to join you this morning. We're honored to again sponsor this annual event and are grateful to be able to contribute to the efforts of the Dublin Chamber to support our local Dublin business community. As you may know, our two colleges, Chabot College and Las Positas College, have been serving our district and our Bay Area for over 50 years. A little bit more about them. Through our colleges, we support a diverse student population of over 29,000 students in our service area. 4 out of 5 of our students encourage their colleagues and peers to attend one of our colleges. And our district continues to be a vital economic engine for our region. Last year alone, we contributed over $700 million to our regional economy that went to directly support 7,000 jobs through employment. For our students and supporting them, $1 that we spend on educating our students provides them over 6 times that in lifetime earnings. And lastly, 1 out of every 161 jobs in our service area is supported by the activities of our colleges, our district, and our students. In addition to our colleges, we have our Economic Development and Contract Education Department. Hi, Julia. Wherein we offer services to our business community, including contract education courses. in addition to contract education courses, we're proud of our OSHA Training Institute Education Center that is the only one of its kind in Northern California. And through it, we offer classes to the public in OSHA certificate and training. It's a resource for large businesses and small businesses alike, as well as individuals looking for safety training. And we also have our Career Center that helps connect employers with job seekers. So as you can see, we're proud of the work that we do, and we continue to welcome the opportunity to help educate our students and our business communities. So in closing, thank you for your continued support, and we look forward to furthering our relationships and collaborations. Thank you and enjoy the program.
Thank you, Chancellor Gerhardt. Now let's take a moment to view a video Chevron would like to share.
It's only human to pursue the elusive, while also capturing the possibilities, even something like CO2. Over the last decade, Chevron has spent over $1 billion on carbon capture projects and is investing in startup companies working to transform carbon into new forms of energy.
Thank you, Chevron. Lastly, I am pleased to introduce Gina Molinaro Cardera from Amador Valley Industries. We are thrilled that Gina is chair-elect for the Dublin Chamber and will be taking the Chamber into 2021. Additionally, Gina has the distinct honor of introducing our beloved mayor after a few words from our sponsor, Amador Valley Industries, with whom Gina is a principal. Ladies and gentlemen, Gina Molinaro Cardera.
Hi there, everybody. I'm Gina. As Danita said, thank you. I am a principal with Amador Valley Industries, so I am wearing a couple of hats today. For those of you that don't know, Amador Valley Industries is the solid waste and recycling service for the city of Dublin. So we are at your home or at your business at least once a week. And we're very proud to be able to do that for the city. We are an essential service, so even during this weird time of the pandemic, we have been at your house weekly or your business weekly. We look forward to keep serving you. And as Danita said, I have the distinguished honor to introduce our mayor for the last time to give us the State of the City address. So with that, David Haubert was first elected to the City Council in 2012, then elected as mayor in 2014, and re-elected as mayor in 2016 and 2018. Prior to serving on the City Council, Mayor Haubert served as a member of the Dublin Unified School District Board of Trustees for 10 years, from 2002 to 2012, serving as president of the board in 2009 and 2010. Mayor Haubert is active in a range of local and regional commissions and organizations, including Alameda County Local Area Formation Commission, Alameda County Transportation Commission, Innovate Tri-Valley, Hope Hospice Advisory Board, and iGate. He is also an active member of the Dublin Rotary Club. Mayor Haubert is also a former member of the Easter Seals Bay Area Finance Committee, Board of Directors for Dublin United Soccer League and ANCA Behavioral Health, and a volunteer for the Red Window Project, a nonprofit committed to combating human trafficking. Mayor Haubert remains steadfastly focused on maintaining a safe and economically vibrant community in Dublin. He serves on the City Council's Economic Development Committee and regularly attends Dublin Chamber of Commerce events. Mayor Haubert is also a strong supporter of parks and open space and has supported renovations to the Dublin sports grounds, the creations of a city maintenance facility, and the opening of Fallon Sports Park Phase 2, Jordan Ranch Park, Sean Diamond Park, and the Emerald Glen Recreation and Aquatic Complex, also known as The Wave. Last year, Mayor Haubert spearheaded an initiative to revitalize downtown Dublin by providing financial incentives to attract more businesses to Dublin. Mayor Haubert has also been a staunch supporter of local education. In 2014, he created the Mayor's Council for high school students wanting to serve the community, and he spearheaded an effort to provide the school district with affordable land for new schools. Mayor Haubert and his wife, Michelle, have been married for 28 years and have raised their 3 daughters in Dublin for the past 21 years. Please help me welcome Mayor David Haubert to the stage. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Whether you're watching online or watching this recorded in the future, we are so glad to have you here with us today. 2020 is certainly a year that we will remember for many years to come, and it will be one that we will choose to forget for many of us. It truly has been a difficult year for all of us. It's been one of the most difficult year for me, I know, as we are lasting through this global pandemic of COVID. Since our last global pandemic, the 1918 Spanish flu, we have seen so much thrown at us: world wars, global financial crises, the stock market crash. We saw 9/11, where the Twin Towers came down. We saw the civil rights movement. We've seen some racial unrest even today. But as we enter the 6th month of this COVID pandemic, let me just say that I can only share with you the words that have been shared with me before by wise people. All of the hardship, all of the pain, all of the misery, these too shall come to pass. We will get through this together. We will get through this as a nation of resiliency. We will emerge stronger. We shall overcome, we shall create new ways of doing things. We shall not only survive, we shall thrive, because we are Dublin. Dublin, California, that is, to my friends in Ireland. So let's talk about this for a second. The State of the City Address. My staff knows that this is, well, first of all, let me go back and say thank you to the members of the Chamber of Commerce. No, I'm sorry, this is my last State of the City address, so my staff thought they would create this as the legacy presentation. So I'm really glad to share with you some things that have happened this past year, but also some things that have happened since I first came into office. And before we do that, I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce and also my fellow City Council members, and we'll get them up on the screen here. My fellow City Council members who can't be with us on stage today, we know that they're here with us in spirit. Our Vice Mayor, Arun Goel, Council members Melissa Hernandez, and Sean Kumagai, and Jean Josie. I also would like to thank many of the members of our commissions that can't be with us today, but acknowledging them: our Planning Commission, our Parks and Community Services Commission, our Health and Human Services Commission, our Senior Advisory Commission. And I would also like to thank and recognize our sister agencies. In the City of Dublin, we know that the Dublin School Board of Trustees is so important. And I would like to thank and recognize each of them: Dan Sherrier, Megan Rouse, Amy Miller, Gabby Blackman, Catherine Kuo. The schools in Dublin are absolutely amazing. And it's because of your dedication and commitment to excellence that they are so great. I can't say enough. Great communities have great schools, and great schools make great communities. I am so proud of the work that you do. I would also like to thank and recognize other fellow electeds from the Dublin San Ramon Services District: Ed Duarte, Georgine von Heater-Leopold, Rich Halkett, Pat Howard, and Anne Marie Johnson. And while this is a city event and it's not a county event, I have to recognize Scott Haggerty, our county supervisor. Supervisor Haggerty has worked tirelessly for many years, over 24 years, to serve our community, and Dublin has directly benefited as a result of his collaboration with our city. We couldn't ask for a better, harder working, and caring supervisor than Scott Haggerty. Of course, we have other partners at the state level. State Assembly member RBK, Rebecca Bauer-Cahan, her predecessor, Catherine Baker, two great collaborators with the City of Dublin, our State Senator Steve Glazier, and who could forget the Congressman from the City of Dublin, Eric Swalwell. I also would like to recognize and thank and just say a few words about my fellow mayors throughout the Tri-Valley area: Mayor Marchand, Mayor Thorne, Mayor Clarkson, Mayor Stepper, and really all of the council members at Danville who rotate in and become mayor. I've gotten to know each one of you, Mayor Arnerich, Mayor Storr, Mayor Morgan. You guys are absolutely amazing. I've formed great, long-lasting friendships. Together we have brought the Tri-Valley to a point where we all get along very well. I'm proud of our strong working relationship of collaboration. I'm proud of the work that we do as a region. And kudos to you guys. Thank you very much on my last State of the City address. So we couldn't call it a State of the City address in 2020 without talking about the COVID crisis, the state of emergency that we had to go through and issue. The first thing that we did was we declared a state of emergency. And if you can read down here the title, it says, until April 7th. So I think we all would wish that it would have been over by April 7th. It certainly wasn't. You can recall that even before the state of California declared shelter in place, we made the tough decision to cancel St. Patrick's Day, our hallmark event throughout the year. We had our delegation of guests coming to visit us from Bray, Ireland, our beloved sister city. They arrived, and oh boy, we had to cancel St. Patrick's Day. But I want to tell you, we're all such great friends. We got through it together. We made the best of it. And we know that we look forward to better days and celebrations on St. Patrick's Day with them. To my friends in Bray, Ireland, let me say we wish you health, great health, good health, and safety to all of our friends in Bray, Ireland. So in the next few slides, we're going to talk about how we handled COVID, the COVID crisis. And I want to say that as a community, we came together. We handmade our own PPE. We delivered food to the elderly and the homebound, disabled people. We spread kindness and joy. We supported our local businesses. We found ways to use technology in new ways. So let's take a look here. Here's some people delivering food to people that needed it, spreading kindness and joy. We made sure that we communicated with our community. We weren't sure how this shelter in place would look, what the rules and regulations would be. Only going out for essentials, not even for walks in the park. So we had community conversations on Zoom. We resumed our city council meetings without missing a beat by doing it online. We stayed open for business by helping our businesses understand how they could be delivering food and have curbside delivery. We worked with our grocery stores to get people in safely, wearing masks and shopping with reduced capacities. We worked with our small businesses by providing them with small business seminars and ways they could get the federal grants for small businesses and the PPP loans that they needed. We fast-tracked permitting processes so that they could open up for outdoor dining. You can see here Casa Roscoe Inc. 82 doing a great job with outdoor dining. We also took it upon ourselves to offer COVID testing in partnership with the cities of Livermore, Pleasanton, and Dublin, and with Valley Care, Stanford Valley Care. I just heard that we passed over 15,000, the number 15,000 of tests that we were able to provide. And so if you've had a test, thank the Valley Care, Stanford Valley Care folks for doing that, funded jointly by the cities of Livermore, Pleasanton, and Dublin over there at the Pleasanton Fairgrounds. We use technology to have a drive-through ice cream social and things like that. We did Shelter in Fun community cake wars where people made cakes at home but all virtually sharing time with each other. We had a virtual recreation center for our young ones who could go in online and do things like visit the national parks, all through virtual and through video. We created the Live in Rec program, learning in a virtual environment, so that students that need a place to go after school, or instead of school rather, could be in a place where they had Wi-Fi, where they had instructors and tutors, and we offer this every 3 weeks. And here again, another one, partnering with Open Heart Kitchen and others to deliver food as needed. Always during our State of the City address, we love to recognize our volunteers, and so this year we were happy. This is pre-COVID, that's why there's no masks and everyone is so close together, but I want to congratulate and thank Citizen of the Year Liz Crocker and the Young Citizens of the Year, the Young Citizens of the Year, Emily Q and Haley Tajan, for being the Young Citizens of the Year. Congratulations. The Organization of the Year, the Dublin 4-H Club. They are amazing kids that are just doing great work. We have the Mayor's Award, and I chose this year a couple of choices here. Well, Vanessa Thomas for the work that she's done, but also she's part of the Dublin Arts Collective, which you see here on screen. So Vanessa Thomas and sharing with the Dublin Arts Collective, all of them doing a great job perpetuating and making awareness of art and doing all the things that we need in our community for art. Lastly, I want to say that we have the Mayor's Legacy Award, the Dublin San Ramon Women's Club, for their continued support and service year in and year out. Some of them over 50 years of service in our community, and I just wanted to recognize them. The Mayor's Legacy Award for service throughout time goes this year to the Dublin San Ramon Women's Club. In addition to that, we love to always honor our community partners. You can see that we partner with many folks: City Serve of the Tri-Valley, Open Heart Kitchen, Easter Seals, the Y, Access Health, Dublin Partners in Education, so many here. We couldn't be a great community as great as we are without the nonprofits that help serve in our community. And I'm proud that over my tenure we've been able to award nearly $2 million to these worthy causes. So I am so proud of our community partners. They do a great job day in and day out. And so we're going to switch gears a little bit here and talk about what we've done over time. And you can see here from 2013 to 2020 the projects that have come before us. Whole Foods over at Persimmon Place, welcoming of Tesla. We're going to talk about these as we go throughout today's State of the City address. And I want to start by saying when mayors turn over, there's sort of a passing of the baton. And I want to recognize the mayors of the past and also give a few words of wisdom to whoever will succeed me as the next mayor. It's like running a race. There's many projects that we're going to talk about today that I was able to help accomplish, but that were started before me, and many projects that we've been able to start together that will outlive me and be completed in the future with another mayor in charge. And so we're going to start with Persimmon Place. And I can remember, again, the day we cut the ribbon at Persimmon Place and Whole Foods Market, and how proud I was that Dublin had a Whole Foods Market. I think that surely beat Pack and Save, if you remember the days of Pack and Save. But that was a project that the former Mayor Tim Sabranti started, and I was proud. I got to be the lucky one that cut the ribbon, and we were right across the street from Hacienda Crossings, a shopping center that was created by mayors before us, Guy Houston and Janet Lockhart. And so we can just see how the evolution of the city and our growth moves smoothly. I will say that we did a lot of work and capital projects while I was in office. If you look at this slide and you can see this culvert, you can almost drive a truck. Well, you can drive a truck through it. That culvert along Tassajara in the upper left corner here, that was 100 years old. The road was about to collapse on it, I think. If we didn't do something that year, we would have had problems because we had a lot of rain that year. But it required that we would close Tassajara for several months. And you could just read the emails and the letters and the phone calls we received, often from our friends in San Ramon that couldn't get down Tassajara. This is one where I call it no pain, no gain, something we have to do every 100 years, and we did a good job. It took us a while, but we got it done. Down at the bottom left, you can see Doherty Road widening. Again, no pain, no gain. Again, had to have some pain for a while. Again, more emails and friendly phone calls from our friends in San Ramon. But if you go down Dublin Boulevard today, Doherty Road today, you'll see that it's a wonderful, smooth sail. We added bike lanes as well, as you can see on the left-hand side of the screen there. We recognized and opened Camp Parks, recognizing our history of military service in the city of Dublin with Camp Parks Reserve Forces Training Center and the museum that we opened up in partnership with the U.S. Army. And you can see that we also, this is a housing complex, a community, Valor Crossings, that helps to serve and house formerly homeless veterans in our community. So we do our part to provide affordable housing. And of course, we have to always talk about a great project that we completed here, which is the Wave Aquatic Center. You can see that we've have many outdoor events. Last year, we had to cancel them. This year, of course. This year, you can see the aerial footage of the Wave, the Dublin Aquatics Center. And that was a long-time project. This is another one, again, 10 years in the design and saving the funds and putting it to good use. You can see the now world-famous water slides of Dublin here in the aerial. And you can see that it's just a wonderful addition to the Emerald Glen Park, one of our crown jewels, so to speak, in the city of Dublin. We were named as the number 7 best places to live in all of the United States by Money Magazine. We are very, very proud of that. And we were also able to continue to expand our parks. Here again is Jordan Ranch Park, and we also cut the ribbon on Sean Diamond Park and Fallon Sports Park Phase 2. Here's another picture of a different park that we cut the ribbon on. We just had a great string of park openings over time, the last 6 years. This is another great one. We honor our veterans by allowing them to hang a banner along our streets, Doherty Road, for a period of time between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. For a small fee, they can hang the banner for that period of time. When they come into the city council to be recognized, we give them a certificate, and we actually let them take the banner home with them. A great project spearheaded by 2 of our council members, Councilmember Hernandez and at the time Janine Thalblum, who herself served in the military and had a banner hanged on her in her honor. We're really glad that they came up with that idea. The military banner, very fitting. Here's another look at. We talked about it earlier, Doherty Road, and how smooth that is. And we added commercial space. Fallon Gateway Shopping Center was expanded. And we added a new rebuild of the Challenge Dairy corporate headquarters, which was just a great redesign, very wonderful looking historic building here, the Challenge Dairy headquarters. We also invested in our community, and we allowed for what we call facade improvement programs. And so we helped to fund local small businesses that wanted to remake and redo their downtown Village Parkway frontage. You can see here, this is Amalfi and Rama Market. It used to be the Hunan House restaurant. Does anybody remember that one? I think a great improvement, more modern look and feel, and if you haven't eaten there, you have to check out Amalfi and the Rama Market. We added other new businesses, the Market Tavern, which is a renovated Mimi's Cafe. We built the new Aloft Hotel, Lazy Dog Cafe, and the Astor Project, where Amakara is now located. During the last few years, we welcomed Kaiser, and Kaiser is a great new addition to our community and employ a great number of people with a state-of-the-art building that we took a couple of years to plan and design and then build. We're so grateful to the folks at Kaiser to choose Dublin and the Tri-Valley as a place for their cancer center and a great new regional medical facility. We're delighted to have them in Dublin. So let's take a look at some top line numbers. Between the year 2012-2020, we went from 18,000, a little over 18,000 housing units to 24,000 housing units in a growth plan that was laid out many years before us in the 90s. We're following that plan as the market did very well, building accelerated, and landowners brought their land to develop, and we accomplished 6,000 new units for people to move to the Tri-Valley. At the same time, we added over 400 new businesses to the city of Dublin, including 1 million square feet of office space. We went from 16 parks to 21 parks, and I'm going to tell you by the end of this year, that's going to be 24 parks. So we're really excited about the amount of parks, the quality of our parks, the modernization of our parks. Very proud to provide that for the community. In addition, we did over $113 million of maintenance to our roads and streets, repaving, fixing cracks and potholes. We are rated as the #1 city with the #1 roadways in all of the Bay Area 9 years in a row. And that's a pretty amazing feat, but it's because we spend money on maintenance that allows us to do that. And over the course of the 8 years, we've spent over $375 million in capital improvement projects. All in all, the valuation as recorded by the Alameda County Assessor's Office and our valuation is $18 billion, and just 8 years ago it was $10 billion. So we nearly doubled the assessed valuation of the city of Dublin during the last 12 years. Of course, along the way, we are proud that we won some awards, a long list of awards, too many to go through all of them, but I want to point out the Helen Putnam Award in the upper middle there. We've won 2 of them from the California League of Cities, and some cities were really happy to earn even 1 in their entire lifetime. We've earned 2 in the last 8 years for the Valor Crossings and the Emerald Vista communities that we built. Along the way, also, we mentioned it before, but Best Places to Live, Money Magazine rated us #7 in the country, and we're happy to receive that award. The United States Conference of Mayors recognized us as well for outstanding work. And so these are just a few awards that we have won in the last few years. So let's switch gears slightly and talk about budget. I want to say that budget is always very important. Dublin is blessed to have a diversified and stable economy. We've got many places for people to shop and stop and shop along the freeway, go out to eat, spend their money essentially. And so we import sales tax revenue, people coming in from outside of the community to shop, spend money in Dublin, and we get that tax revenue, which is pretty helpful to our city budget. As well, I mentioned the property valuation that we have increased, almost double in the last 8 years, and that adds to our property tax base. So all in all, we have a very diverse and stable economy. We're always measuring here the teeter-totter, which is more, expenses or revenues. Well, you can see that our revenues exceed our expenses year in and year out. We do budget conservatively. We do a great job of watching each month, each quarter, the revenues that come in, and we save money before we spend it. And that's why we have such a strong balance sheet, a strong budget. But even in the middle of COVID, let me tell you that we've done the math. We've looked at, have a pretty good handle on where our budget is coming in. For the entire 2-year period, and we do budgeting 2 years at a time here, we expect that we will lose about $16.7 million of reduced tax revenue, reduced property tax, reduced sales tax mainly, and we are accounting for every penny of that. We've saved for a rainy day, and now we have the opportunity to use that. We are able to completely resume services. We haven't had to eliminate any services because, again, we've saved for the rainy day. We know how much we're going to have as a shortfall, and we have it in the bank already. And so for this upcoming year, we know that our revenues we expect to be $92.4 million, our expenditures $82.1 million. That means even in today's COVID pandemic crisis, we're going to add $10.3 million to our general fund reserves as a surplus. What that means then as well is that we're going to be able to contribute in the future years to additional capital improvement projects. We'll talk about them a little bit later. Let's talk about economic development. We do open businesses, welcome them with open arms. Kaiser was just one example, but in addition to that, we have brought in new restaurants. Coach's Grill, a great restaurant, locally owned, and wonderful experience and atmosphere and food. The Market Tavern we talked about before. I want to talk a couple about the smaller photos at the bottom right-hand side, AI, Patelco, and TriNet. We're going to have a couple of videos here that speak about these companies, AI and Patelco, but I also want to talk about TriNet. This is a perfect example of a business leader who was living in Palo Alto, had his company in Palo Alto, had a 5-minute commute for himself, but realized that a lot of his talent lived out here in the Tri-Valley. And so he took it upon himself. Some people thought he was crazy, but he moved his whole company to Dublin so that his workers, his talent, could have a shorter commute. He commutes to Dublin, 45 minutes, reverse commute, a great man that took it upon himself to move his company so that his workers could have a shorter commute. We think we're going to see a lot more of this. We hope we see a lot more of this. Kudos to the CEO of TriNet for having done that. But let's hear now from a couple of folks in the business community about why they chose Dublin.
Economic and public investment is critical to a community's overall success, and the City of Dublin's pro-business position has helped attract a very diverse and thriving business community. Businesses, both large and small, love its close proximity to major urban centers, its beautiful neighborhoods, and most importantly, a city government that welcomes new businesses with open arms.
Patelco Credit Union recently moved its headquarters to Dublin, California from Pleasanton, primarily because we are outgrowing our space. We looked at location, we looked at proximity to BART, which is great. Transit, we actually have Whole Foods across the street. We have tremendous amenities in this area.
We were really excited to move to Dublin because we were growing so much as a startup. We're about 100 employees now, and we quickly outgrew our facility in Pleasanton. Plus, on top of that, there's so many great amenities, this wonderful, beautiful 50,000 square foot facility. So it was kind of a no-brainer moving to Dublin. Everything seemed right, and yeah, we're blessed to be here. AI is a robotic perception company. We create the vision technology that empowers self-driving cars, both for ADAS and full mobility applications. We have a unique technology that is LiDAR plus camera fused together, and our LiDAR is unique through its agile scanning technology. So Agile scanning means we use MEMS, or very small mirrors, to steer our beam. And if we actually look at this vehicle behind me, you can see that that's our sensor on top. That's an old generation sensor, but what you actually see, this is LiDAR plus camera fused together. It's actually firing out of that same aperture, so it's fused down at the lowest level, and that creates a lot of intelligence within our system. So we're very different from any other sensor technology out there in this space, and yeah, very excited to create a product that satisfies the needs of the market.
Working with the City of Dublin has been a godsend, to be honest. We met the mayor early on in the process. He convinced us this was the best place to be. And then you look at the permitting phase, it went off without a hitch. The easiest process ever. And they really made us feel welcome in the entire process.
Dublin truly embodies everything we imagine the new American backyard should be. The supportive energy of great neighbors, making it comfortable to do business, stay healthy, relax with friends, and raise families.
Well, what did you think? I thought that was a great video. I want to thank our friends at AI and Patelco. And I want to recognize and highlight the Zeiss project, worldwide leaders in optics and optic electronics. And they're building their North American headquarters for R&D right here on Dublin Boulevard, a project that has continued to be built even through COVID, as it is essential. A beautiful building right along Dublin Boulevard, and they're moving from one facility and growing into another, and that makes way for Amazon Web Services to come in to the former Zeiss home, and we welcome Amazon Web Services to come in the near future. We also welcome new businesses. This is the Elegance, a senior skilled facility for seniors that need special attention as they age in place and have medical conditions. It's located right across the street from the Dublin Senior Center. Very convenient. So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about downtown Dublin. And I know that when I say that, people say, wait a minute, where is downtown Dublin? What does that mean? We know that today it's more of a regional shopping center, a great place for people to shop, but not really a downtown feel. And we've wrestled with that for a number of years. Well, we finally did something about it. Now, what we did is initiate a 20, maybe a 30-year plan, a long-range plan. But they say Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So we put down a plan by bringing in the community. Over 250 members of the City of Dublin residents chimed in and gave their input. We brought in land use experts from the Urban Land Institute. We redid roadways, we redid zoning, we added our own community, sort of a neighborhood town square park that we have budgeted for and will start shortly. But you will see Dublin grow and morph in the downtown area, adding new places to shop, adding modern new places to live, and just really drastically improving the regional shopping center that we have today into a proper and true downtown. Again, no pain, no gain. It doesn't happen overnight. It will take some time, but we've remained committed to this project, and now we've actually put our own skin in the game by putting what will be very shortly a town square in our downtown. So let's talk more about parks. Parks, we know, make life better. We've invested millions of dollars into parks. This is just one view of the All Abilities playground that is going to be opening soon in the Dublin Sports Grounds area right in the middle of town. A chance for people with special needs, maybe they're wheelchair bound or have other complications. They can go to this park and everything is perfectly accessible for them, and also their friends that don't have those disabilities. They can play with them together. We call it the All Abilities Playground right in the heart of our community at the Dublin Sports Grounds, a $4 million renovation. Assisted partially, as you can see here in the middle of the picture here, Rebecca Bauer-Cahan, RBK, State Assembly member, who helped fund this with $1.4 million of funding. We thank her for that. We include public art pieces called Conversations, steel that's backlit, looks very beautiful. And we've also added other parks. Butterfly Knoll is one coming up, and a few others. As I mentioned, we're currently at 21. We're going to get to 24 parks here very soon. Clover Park is another one, and I want to just mention, we are also putting attention to Mape Park, one of the parks that is in the original part of Dublin, and Mape Park needed to be renovated and needed to be added additional playground equipment, so we took it upon ourselves to add there as well. I want to highlight the wave. We talked about it earlier, but usage was up 20% pre-COVID, of course, and so that was 2019 numbers. Just a great facility, drawing from regional draw. You can see here the water splash area that kids love in the photo here. And you can see the trophy being hoisted by the Dublin Gators. They celebrated 4 years in a row of championships and, in fact, undefeated years. The Dublin Gators just on fire. We're proud to have them swimming in the wave. We'll talk a little bit about community engagement. We always like to have a good relationship with the community through our Dublin Leadership Program. You can see here a photo of one of the graduates. This year we had 25 people go through the Dublin Leadership Program. And you can see here the community told us we need more space for cultural arts, for visual art. And so we have a plan in place to add renovated the wing of our City Hall to add 10,000 square feet of the Dublin Cultural Arts Center. We're currently in schematic design on that, but we certainly soon will have a wonderful space for new art, a direct result of the engagement that we have with our community. So let's talk about public safety, always number one and very important to us. We know that as we grew as a community, our police services outgrew the space that they were in. At the same time, our city departments outgrew the space they were in, so it was a perfect match for them to move out and for us to build them new facilities that would be properly suited to them and to make way for city expansions of our offices into the wing of City Hall that our police services was in. So here you can see the ribbon cutting. At the bottom left here, you can see all of our police services team and the public art that we have on the corner there along Dublin Boulevard and right there in front of the police services building. We now have provided our police services with the space that they need to be more functional and to operate, to keep us safe. You can see it's fully equipped with technology. Here it's being, we're connected with the county. You can see our county sheriff there getting a preview. If you look really close, you can see the photo of the building that was there before, an old dairy facility and a food processing plant being torn down to make way for the police services building. The other thing of note is that now we have our police and our fire together at the same complex, and so that's really helpful and really important to us. Here, this is a beautiful picture of the facility that we have. When I talk public safety, I have to mention that we did go through a period of civil unrest, and here in Dublin, we were no exception to that. We helped facilitate peaceful protests, and we were very glad that they were. But we worked together with the folks that wanted to organize this peaceful protest. We didn't push them away. We didn't say, you can't do it here, and then watch them disobey us. They were going to do it anyway. We met with them, and we realized that they really had something to say, and they wanted to get it off their chests, and we had to help facilitate them, and we were glad to help facilitate them. Our police services worked very closely with them to outline how that would happen. And we met in the park. We spoke with them. I got to address the crowd, over 600 people, mostly young people. In fact, former Dublin High students that we knew personally that were taking it upon themselves to voice their civic voices. And we had a pastor from Dublin here at New Life Church, Pastor Derek, prayed over them. They walked down Dublin Boulevard. You can see they took a knee, and I took a knee with them for 8 minutes to signify the 8 minutes of kneeling on George Floyd's neck. And then we marched over to City Hall, where the peaceful protest then dispersed, and we were very fortunate to say that no violence happened. We watched on TV as our neighbors in Emeryville, San Leandro, and Oakland received a lot worse looting and a lot of fire and stealing. We were prepared, and when people came to Dublin with trucks and wanted to break into things, we knew that they were coming, and they kept going because we were prepared for them. So I want to say also to the men and women of our police services department, I know that it's a tough time to be in law enforcement. I want you to know that I know you guys do a great job, have a tough job to do, and that we work with you to help get that done and to keep us safe. I want to say that I'm very proud of our police services. I'm very proud that we have a great relationship with the Alameda County Sheriff to provide our police services for us. That doesn't mean that we won't have conversations and some deep conversations, and we have them with our community. And our Chief of Police Garrett Holmes, who addressed our community, shared with them data and transparency. And we've mentioned earlier that we're going to create a community task force to continue the dialogue on racial and social equality and the way in which we operate the City of Dublin police services. So watch for the future. That task force being developed currently and will be put in place later this year. I want to say that as far as public safety goes, we also partner with our local school district. Again, great schools make great communities, and we're happy to partner with our school district for some public service announcements. Their video team put these together. Let's roll tape here and look at a public service announcement developed by members of our Dublin High School team, Matthew Reed and Tyler Revac. So let's take a look at this.
Sweetie, come in. I'll be there in a second. I'll be there in a second.
Them forward 231. Can I get 211 at my location? MVA.
Investigators found that not only was the 17-year-old driver using her cell phone, but text messages were also being sent just before the crash. This needs to be a wake-up call.
Again, very proud of our students at Dublin High School taking it upon themselves to put together that video, and I think they did a great job. Give them a round of applause. Let's talk now about improvements to transportation. And one of the things I'm very proud of, as you can see here, is the widening of Dublin Boulevard. It was from 2 lanes to 3. It used to be a really bad bottleneck going east on Dublin Boulevard. Now it's just a smooth sail, and a lot of years in the planning. Not a cheap project, but we got it done, and it's a great addition to our transportation improvement program. I want to say that we also lean into risk here. This is the autonomous bus that we're partnering with the Livermore-Amador Valley Transportation Authority, and the great leadership of Scott Haggerty, again, you can see there in the middle, and others. They are now currently testing what will be one of the first autonomous buses that can take people, I think a capacity of 10, around town. This will navigate stoplights, stop signs, it will make turns, it will make U-turns and around the corner, and you can see it in operation right now. And let's just show a little quick video about how it is now testing the shared autonomous vehicle here in Dublin. Well, special thanks to our friends at the Livermore-Amador Valley Transportation Authority, the Bay Area Quality Management Authority, for helping to partner with us. We know that autonomous transportation is in its infancy, but we are leaning into new technology here in Dublin and doing what we can to help test that new technology. So let's take a look at quality housing. And here in Dublin, we are very proud that we have a wide and diverse housing stock, anything from a small studio apartment for rent all the way up to gated communities with multi-million-dollar homes. And I'm happy to highlight here a couple of the Tassajara Hills upper left there at the right, the boulevard and the rec center of the boulevard project, a area that has a community common area, a beautiful pool, a wonderful gym, and a great place to hang out for the people that live in the boulevard. A wonderful new community here in the city of Dublin. Wallace Ranch with another wonderful community pool that you can see there, and community rec centers and places to congregate. A great new development in the city of Dublin, the Wallace Ranch project by Trumark. And here again, our affordable housing community, Valor Crossing, housing formerly homeless veterans, people who served our country down on their luck, finding themselves homeless, now have a home. Just a wonderful thing that we're able to provide to them. And I'd like to turn attention now to something that's very important to us here in Dublin, and that is diversity and inclusion, and something that we've had a deep conversation about over the last 3 or 4 years. And I want to say that we are proud that we welcome members of all over the world and all cultures and all walks of life to come to the city of Dublin. We've celebrated Black History Month, American Muslim Awareness Month, and Sikh Awareness Month. And I want to say that as we do this, as we grow as a community, we're seeing more and more people move in from all over the world. We welcome them with open arms. We protect them. We initiated the No Place for Hate, United Against Hate program to remind people that not to discriminate, and that we have that codified in our policies and procedures for the city of Dublin. I'm happy to say that we were the first city in the Tri-Valley to raise the Pride flag, and did it again this year for the second year in a row. And you can see here our council with the flag. First openly gay council member, very courageous man, Sean Kumagai, here in the middle of this photo, brought this to us, and we accomplished it in the first year. Again, our second year most recently. And you can see the photos of the flag flying there above City Hall, just under the City of Dublin flag. And here again, photos with Councilmember Kumagai and Josie. United we stand against hate, reminding people for the weeks in November that we do not tolerate discrimination, hatred, mistreatment, bullying of any kind. It's not welcome here in the city of Dublin. And we recently updated our mission and vision statement to include the words of inclusion and diversity, and to make it clear to everybody that that's what we're about. That's part of our mission and vision. So let's talk a little bit about 2000 and beyond. As I mentioned, this is a bit of a baton race, a relay race, passing of the baton. We've already started some projects that will outlive me and be the recipient of the new mayor who's elected in November. I'd like to say that these are some companies, even in the middle of the COVID pandemic, we were bringing in recommended appliances, California Speed Sports, Pro Cycles will take over the Arlen Ness building, East Bay Motors coming to town, Dermatology and Mimi's Chocolates businesses moving to Dublin again, even during this pandemic that we have. We have new parks started, and this is one of my favorites, Don Biddle Park, named after our beloved council member who passed away in office a few years ago. We renamed Central Park to be Don Biddle Park. You can see 15-foot statues there, a tribute to our veterans of the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. Don Biddle served in the military himself, and so very fitting that this would be public art in Don Biddle Park. And we talked about other projects earlier. This is another favorite of mine, the Westin Hotel project. Already approved, will break ground shortly by the East Dublin Pleasanton BART station, a 4-star Westin hotel. We're looking forward to that. Here's a bird's eye view of what's to come for downtown Dublin. We talked about that earlier. A 20, maybe a 30-year plan in the making. Very exciting, yet to come. And then we have also to look forward to, we know that Dublin Boulevard, you can see the aerial, it ends, and it doesn't quite connect yet to North Canyons Parkway, but it will soon. And we're looking excited for that to come. Again, when Dublin Boulevard is connected to North Canyons Parkway in Livermore, hey, we'll be able to go to Costco without getting on the freeway. How exciting is that? But it will also bring to us a new industrial park. Not much residential, but all jobs, industry, and we approved this project, looking into this more deeply at our last city council meeting. We're going to welcome green tech companies and new tech companies to the city of Dublin, right along the new stretch of Dublin Boulevard as it extends and connects from where it ends today at Fallon Road all the way to North Canyons Parkway. So as I finish here, I again want to thank my friends and colleagues at the Dublin Chamber of Commerce and all of our sponsors. I'd like to say again farewell to my fellow colleagues and mayors throughout the Tri-Valley, also terming out, Mayor John Marchand, Mayor Jerry Thorne, Mayor Bill Clarkson, my great friends, mayors of Danville proceeding on, no term limits there. I want to say that as I close out, it has truly been my honor and my pleasure to serve the city of Dublin. As we've accomplished so much together, I have to say that I'm the lucky one. I have to confess that I could not do any of this without my loving wife and my family, who have supported me along the way. Michelle, I love you. You're amazing. And thank you for all that you've put up with, including my 3 daughters, Caitlin, Carissa, and Courtney. They've selflessly shared their father and their husband for all these years, sacrificing family time and bearing the brunt of all that it means to be the family member of the mayor. I do look fondly at the future. I always like to say that Dublin is a great place to live, work, and raise a family. But I truly believe in my heart that Dublin has even greater years yet to come. The foundation laid by people in office before me, the foundation laid in my years in office and in partnership with my colleagues on the City Council, and for the future development of the City of Dublin, greater days yet to come. With that, I'd like to say thank you, everyone. God bless you. God bless America. God bless Dublin, California. Thank you. Well, welcome back, everyone. We thought we would take a few minutes for questions and answers. And so I think anybody that wants to chime in can do that. If you say a question out loud, I will repeat it so we make sure that everyone can hear it, and then I'll do my best to answer it. Who wants to start off, or how are we going to do questions? If you can raise your hand digitally, if you know how to do that, then you're better than me. But I can barely figure out how to do the virtual background, but I was taught, now I can do it, so that's cool. Who wants to ask the first question? Raise your hand, maybe clap, or unmute yourself and just ask away. We can do it that way too. Anybody has questions? Lori is unmuted. You're welcome to ask a question if you want. Anybody that wants to ask a question, just, hey, Lori, there you are. I can see you. You want to ask a question?
Yes, I've heard that many businesses are opening up in Alameda County. When are we going to see more businesses open in Dublin? And you know which businesses in particular I'm referring to.
Yes, Lori, great question. And I will tell you that we're on the phone. So the question is, businesses around the state opening up, and also around our Tri-Valley, Contra Costa County, the rest of Alameda County. What does that mean for us and reopening of businesses? A couple of comments. First, I always want to say, and I have to preface every comment I make, that I prioritize lives over dollars. We have to maintain public health, and that we have to listen to our public health officials at Alameda County. With that said, I always will ask the tough questions, push back, and probe deeper for ways that we could possibly convince them that it's okay to move forward. Here in the Tri-Valley, we have some of the lowest infection rates around the county, around the state, and so I'm always pushing further to open up. Most recently, Alameda County does qualify to move into the red zone. However, our officials at Alameda County Health have asked us to hold where we are and to not move forward for 2 weeks. They want to evaluate the repercussions of that decision, and so we are not able in Alameda County to open up as far or as wide as the state would allow us to do. It's very frustrating to me to see that, but I have to trust that they are making the best decisions for our public health. What I do foresee in the future, and recently we saw that we were able to reopen hair cutting and things like that. We're on the phone with them every week to ask when we can reopen perhaps indoor dining for, say, 25% occupancy. I'm really disappointed that gyms and fitness can only open at 10% capacity. But in the meantime, we're operating them outdoors in the parks, and we're working to relax permitting rules so that people can open up for outdoor dining and increase their space for outdoor dining. I can tell you that we have to continue every week to work with our Alameda County health officer, and what we do at the City of Dublin is very quickly interpret what they say we can do and feed that out to our community, sometimes even that same day. And I want to thank the members of our community for bearing with that. It's a decision that I don't make, that we don't make at the city level. It's made at the county health office level, but we are in weekly communications, sometimes even daily, at the staff level with them. And so keep posted to our website, keep posted to social media. Every week, new information is coming out about that. Next question. Who else has a question? If you have a question, you can just unmute or type it in the chat or raise your hand. Love to hear from you. We had a question, when might schools reopen? And I'll tell you that that is indeed a school board decision. The City of Dublin would not have anything to do with that. We would certainly support them in that decision one way or the other. And in fact, we already are by allowing for our rec programs to take in students that need to have a place to go. So we work collaboratively with the school district, but we'd have to refer you to the school district for that. I see others. Thank you for highlighting. Yep, great. I'm looking at the chat room. You placed a bid for a chair to remember. Oh, I need to. That's a great. Hey, Vanessa, I see that question for you. Yeah, I'll definitely be in on some of the bidding for those chairs. Thank you. And you did a great job, Vanessa, painting the chair you did, but also getting others to do that. Great job on the Adirondack chairs. Should have mentioned that more deeply earlier. Great job with that. Other questions? Yes, thank you. There you are, Vanessa. Good to see you. Any other questions?
David, this is Sherry. So we have a question about the fire. We know it's still around there, and also we also want you have some comments about what will happen in the future. Now this year, maybe in the future, 5 years, 10 years. What's the direction for the city to do in order to keep the Dublin safe?
Sherry, thanks for the question, and thanks for all you do for the community. I know you have done a lot for so many years, and in fact, helped donate water and snacks to our fire department yourself. Thank you for all you do. A great question. Dublin partners with the Alameda County Fire Department for our services. They're a great partner for us. When we need them, they are there. And when others need them around, as we saw recently, we deploy them even on mutual aid missions outside of the city of Dublin, but nearby us in Livermore, nearby us in Contra Costa County. They keep us safe from fire. When it happens, they contain the fire very quickly. But I can tell you that I continue to talk with them and members of our sheriff's department who are monitoring the areas that have been burned. And it's very important to make sure that we manage the scorched earth, that we repair it as quickly as possible, that we know that we're going to have several years of burnt foliage on the grounds that were burnt, that we don't let that go straight into the ocean, that we clean it up, that we quickly get to a point where we can replant and reestablish our natural open spaces. So right now, CAL FIRE is putting out the last of the fires. We hope that we don't have another lightning storm like we saw about a month ago. But in the meantime, we're going to clean up the burnt areas and do the best we can to quickly replant. Great question. Where can we find the downtown Dublin graphics that were shown? That's a great question. Elaine, please go to our City of Dublin website. If you can't find them there, give me an email. I know you have my email address, or go to downtowndublin.com. Hazel, great answer there. You're on top of it. Wow, thank you for the McCormick Rose Garden. Claudia, thank you for all your years of service. I'm glad that we did that. I know we didn't highlight it here. We probably should have, but the McCormick Family Rose Garden in Emerald Glen, in honor of the McCormick family, and really Claudia McCormick and her late husband Tom McCormick, longtime leaders, what I call modern pioneer families of the city of Dublin, brought us into incorporation and led us through the early stages of the city of Dublin. You're welcome, Claudia. It's such a beautiful rose garden. With that, I think we're done.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, what's this?
Wow. Bert, we'd like to thank you on behalf of everyone today and everyone watching today for your great state of the city, all your years of service in Dublin, continued support of the area, of course we know will happen, and thank you for your graciousness of time today, and great. We
Gina,
look forward
thank you.
to bigger and more things to come.
You know, if I have my way, I'm not going too far, right?
Right. Right.
Oh, thank you. That's Profound Secret, one of my favorites, and a great gift basket. My wife will love it.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Goodbye, everybody. Take care.
Thank you, everyone, for attending today's Dublin State of the City. And thank you, Mayor Haubert, for your inspiring update. It's been 6 great years, And while this last year has been extraordinarily challenging, hard, and scary, I have got to tell you, I'm inspired by our city leaders like Mayor Haubert, the City Council, and Linda Smith of the City Manager's Office. Some of our chamber members may return to business as usual. Some will thrive in newfound ways of doing business. The chamber is here to assist in your challenges and celebrate your success. The Dublin Chamber of Commerce is a resource for business information and advocate locally and statewide for a better business environment. Contact me, Inga Houston, the Dublin Chamber President, anytime to talk about how the Chamber can help you. I would be remiss if I did not give a shout out to the following people that went the extra mile to make today a reality. Danita Romero, she drove all the way back to the Bay Area to do her, to take care of her duties as our chair of the board. Thank you. Thank you, Danita. Gina Molinaro Cadera with Amador Valley Industries. She assisted in the production and preparing for today and provided the gift for our mayor from Gare Wineries. Leonard Nieto with Envision Construction and his amazing wife, Kimberly. Leonard helped with the planning today's event, and Kimberly went above and beyond decorating the mayor's gift so beautifully. And Jody Amos with Amos Productions, event production all over the Bay Area. They had knocked it out of the park today, so thank you for making us look good. And the woman behind the show, Sherry Jackman with the City of Dublin. She has raised the bar for what a State of the City can be. Kudos to Sherry and Sam That with State of the City presentations. He created the slideshow, and it was amazing. Thank you to our Leader Circle members and event sponsors, Chevron, Chabot Las Positas Community College, Amador Valley Industries, Corey Lane Schools, Dublin Toyota, and Dublin Chevrolet. It could not have happened without you, and thank you for your support. This is Inga Houston saying thank you for attending, and I look forward to seeing all of you in person next year and with a new leader in the City of Dublin. Good afternoon, or morning still. Danita, can you take us home?
Thank you, Inga, and thank you to Gare Winery for that amazing gift. I guess I should have mentioned Aloft Hotel. That was so wonderful in their accommodations last night. I want you to please save November the 5th, midday, for the next virtual event where we will hear from Scott Haggerty with the state of the county, along with his thoughts on the election for a path forward for whomever is the new District 1 supervisor. At this point, I'm going to slide in there a special thanks to Amos Production, Inga Houston, CEO for the Dublin Chamber of Commerce, and Mayor Dave Haubert. We want to thank each of you for attending today. We hope you have enjoyed today's event and have learned a little more about our great city of Dublin. We look forward to seeing you in person soon. Until then, this is Danita Romero, Chair of the Board and representing Chabot Las Positas Community College District. Thank you and stay well.